There are two sides to every story. This is side one. I think you all may remember the story of Cecil the lion. Cecil was a lion that lived in Hwange Park in Zimbabwe, and he was studied by the University of Oxford as part of a larger study on lions, and he lived until he was 13 years old. He was killed by a wealthy dentist named Walter Palmer, who shot him in 2015. And again, Cecil died when he was 13 years old. So I remember seeing this picture of this lifeless, magnificent creature laying on the ground next to a smiling man and feeling such disgust for this individual. I mean, in this day and age, how barbaric is it for you to take an animal like this, to shoot it when there's only 25,000 left in the world, so that he could hang its head on his man cave. And I wasn't the only one that was disgusted. 1.2 million people signed a petition to ban trophy hunting due to this picture. And shortly after, legislation was enacted, and then companies started following suit. For example, United, American, and Delta Airlines all voluntarily stopped the transport of trophies from their airlines to the United States. Yes, we finally did it. We did something great. Nobody wants to see another one of these animals die. And as a result, this dentist, Walter Palmer, was basically tarred and feathered. I mean, he was put on, he had multiple death threats. His house was vandalized. Lion killer was graffitied all over the front of his driveway. And he had so many death threats that he had to go into hiding. His business was shut down for a period of time. And he basically had to stop practicing for a short while. This is side two, the other side to the story. Walter Palmer was a very well-respected dentist who also happened to like hunting. And Dr. Palmer was ecstatic when he learned that he had won a very rare license to hunt an African lion. They don't give these licenses out very often, so when you do get one, it's like a dream come true. I mean, it's a trip of a lifetime. And he wasn't worried about taking one lion from the 25,000 that exist, because he knew that $50,000 he was going to spend was going to go completely back to the conservation of animals. That's right. As counterintuitive as it sounds, trophy hunting is a conservation tool, and it actually works to help animals far more than it does hurt them. The real problem for these animals is not trophy hunters who get a license to go legally shoot and kill one animal, which is usually an animal that is causing problems, an animal that has been pre-selected. As sad as it sounds, this is a bit like the Hunger Games, but it works. These animals are not these hunters are not the problem. The problem is poachers and loss of habitat. In Hwange Park, the biggest issue is water. They have to pay for the pumps to be repaired and for water to be brought in for these animals to drink. And there's very little water, and one of the biggest problems that they found recently with this sort of ban on trophy hunting, which was not yet enacted, but with the lack of people going to trophy hunt, was the lack of money. So they are unable to pay for the air surveillance of the parks, which allowed for these organized mobs of people to come in, poachers to come in and add cyanide to the water supply. So thousands of animals died because there was nobody who could afford to, or nobody who was paid to watch the animals. Another example in 2000, let me check that. In the 1970s, Kenya tried to ban elephant hunting. Since then, the numbers have actually decreased by 3 times the amount of elephants. And again, this is due to the poachers who are able to come in and the lack of money that is being afforded by the trophy hunters or the hunters that are coming in and having one single animal to kill. Did you know that rhino horn and elephant tusk cost more than $27,000 a pound? That's more than gold or cocaine. So these animals are far better kept alive by taking one that helps to save millions. Now, in a perfect world, dentist Palmer would have gone to Africa to fix teeth. But we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world where trophy hunting actually helps save the animals. So what I'd like to ask you today is, when you see a picture like this come up on your social media feeds and you feel obliged to change your profile picture or to sign a petition, just ask yourself this question: do I really know both sides of the story? Thank you.